I eat raw meat every single day of my life. And when I tell people this for the first time, they often associate me with cavemen. But what most people don't realise is that raw meat consumption is associated with the most powerful of warriors and the most noble of aristocrats. Most modern people try to mock you. They call you extreme and primitive. But what they don't realise is that raw meat consumption is deeply ingrained in every society. Almost all fancy restaurants serve raw meat dishes, from tartare and carpaccio to oysters and caviar. But when you eat these foods, you don't associate them with being a savage. You actually go and pay a premium for these foods because you see them as fancy and special. But why is this? In feudal Europe, the gap between nobility and peasants wasn't just represented by deeds and titles, it was also represented by the diet that they ate. The elites were consuming raw meats, raw fish, and raw cheeses, whilst the peasants ate grains, vegetables, and mushrooms. If we look at food within art from the Renaissance period, there was almost no depictions of cooked food. That is because these foods are not only more visually appealing, but they are also more satiating and closer to their true form. Put it this way, nobody wants to look at cooked, shriveled, brown, oxidized food. It's not appealing to the eye. The human senses are attracted to the colours red and yellow. They stimulate hunger within the human body. That's why the people in these high-class societies developed better than the peasants. When you think about medieval peasants, what do you think about? Somebody who has a weak jaw, rotting teeth, and an emaciated look on their face. Kings, princes, knights and noblemen would go hunting for wild game, and the peasants would be left with small amounts of meat that they would have to cook into broths and mix with carbohydrates, vegetables, and grains to make the meat go further. And these peasants passed these traditions on through their bloodlines, and we still honour these traditions to this day by creating the same recipes that they invented all that time ago, when they was starving and trying to extend the small amount of meat that they had available to them. And next time you go to a fancy restaurant, don't choose the peasant option of bread or pasta. Choose the option that royalty would choose, the caviar, the oysters, the tartare and carpaccio, the sashimi. The option full of nutrients and hydration. Choose the food of aristocracy.